2026 can be a year of some doom and gloom, but we don't want to look at that. We want to focus in on some positive stories of the week. So tune in to Positive Stories, and maybe let's do a little joy maxing on this episode of The Brighter Side.
Whee!
Yay!
Joy maxing.
This was actually, I'm so glad we're doing this episode because it has been like a week of particularly dark news. And so it forced me to find some good news, and I feel better.
I feel better too, because I came in the studio a little grumpy. Yeah. And we'll talk about it later. But then I had to force and find some good news about it, and I feel better.
Yeah.
What if we all brought in the same 3 stories because there were only 3 good stories this week?
I think mine are kind of like broad before, I don't want to describe them before I get into them, but I do want to tell you first about an experience I had 2 days ago.
Okay.
Where I went to get a scalp massage.
Ooh.
And we're gonna find the brighter side of this, okay?
Oh, no.
Together as a group. Okay.
Scalp massage is nice.
Well, that's what I thought.
Do you have lice?
No, don't have lice. I would have led with that. I would have been like, gals, I got lice.
Oh, keep your distance.
So I go in. I'm thinking a scalp massage is someone playing with my hair. Like when you go get your hair washed and it feels so good, you relax. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to kind of zenning out, feeling all those good vibes. I sit down in this chair. He starts feeling my scalp, and he's like, "Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my God.
You have anxiety." I was like,
he let it like that?
Yeah.
It's like, you gave me more
you
anxiety.
Have anxiety. And I go, I do. And he goes, and some back problems.
What? From your scalp?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but how do you know that? And he's like, well, there's different parts of your scalp that line up with different parts of your body and all of these things.
It's all super connected. It's
sounds
crazy.
like he's a good masseuse.
Yeah. He didn't beat the shit out of my scalp. It was painful. And then he attacked my shoulders.
Wow.
He was punching my neck. Nothing relaxing about it at all. Nothing relaxing about it. But I did feel better the next day.
What part of your head was he touching when
about the back stuff?
Yeah, when he felt your back stuff.
I'm touching it right now. I'm like,
yeah,
what's bigger?
I think it was I don't even remember because he was just kind of all over the place, and I was overwhelmed in the moment because I just wanted to be this is not what I expected. Yeah. So then
where on your head was he touching?
I don't remember exactly, but I do remember can I touch your head?
Yeah.
He was up here when he was like, "Do you wear glasses?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You got eye strain, hun. You got eye strain." Yeah, because I wasn't wearing glasses when I was there. I was wearing contacts.
Crazy.
As I usually do. So when he felt the glasses thing, I was like, okay, maybe he does know what's up. First, when he said you have anxiety and back problems, I was like, yeah, every woman on the planet, okay?
Every human being now,
Exactly. Wow. So I was a little suspicious. But then when he did the glasses, I was like, this man knows his stuff.
I want to go to him.
Okay, I'm going to refer you, and I get 10% off my next visit.
What is he going to tell me, I wonder?
I know, he's going to feel your head.
It's always so fascinating. I used to get acupuncture pretty regularly, and they would put a pin into a small part on around your ankle, and you would feel something up in your neck just tense up and then release.
Wow.
It's crazy how the body's all connected.
Somebody had to figure that out, and they got a boner when they did it, and they're like, oh, 1 millimeter over.
Yeah. And then someone else was like, my headache's gone. Some
freaky Chinese guy 3,000 years ago, right?
Could have been.
Now, when you left, was your hair all crazy teased out?
I looked insane.
Yeah.
And I looked insane. And he also did essential oils into the scalp. So it was massaging oils in there. And he was like, don't wash your hair till tonight. And I was like, I'm going to see friends. And he was like, wear a hat. And I was like, okay. So then I went and had lunch with a pal with a little hat on, my oily hair in there.
They look like you just got fucked?
Well, actually, no. It looked more like someone dumped oil on my head. If that's what happens when you get fucked, then yes. But for me, it looked like I had jumped into a vat of Vaseline and oil.
You guys don't fuck behind the Buffalo Wild Wings?
Haven't yet, but maybe one day.
Imagine getting your dick sucked behind the Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm sure it happens every day. You know what? I know somebody. It's happening to somebody.
That's where that lemon pepper sauce comes from.
It's happening to someone. But
Give me
so
that.
it was not what I expected, and I did leave kind of annoyed because I was like, because it was painful.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
not
yeah.
a pleasant experience. Let me be clear about that.
When I think of a scalp massage, you know those things that look like a whisk?
That's what I want. That's what I wanted.
Just
I wanted
that
a
for-
soft. I wanted
Yeah.
a purring.
And he's like,
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
anxiety,
yeah.
you got back problems.
Yeah, and he was like
Yeah.
beating my neck and shoulders, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then, but the brighter side is the next day, I did feel looser. I did feel better. I did feel like less back problems. Possibly.
What are you supposed to do about eye strain? What is that? You just like
he's told
wear
me to
different
stop
glasses?
looking at my phone at night. Yeah, right.
Boo.
Yeah,
What a bunch of
boo.
nerds.
Yeah. He's like, I was like, what am I going to do? He's like, just stop looking at your screen at night. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. And he was like,
What am I, a nun?
Well,
Yeah.
give me another thing not to do.
Yeah,
'cause
like-
that's not what's going to happen.
next you're going to tell me not to look at my phone in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's going to work.
Next thing you're going to say, I can't have drinks every night.
Yeah.
Come on.
Please.
Oh, I got to stay hydrated.
Oh,
Thanks.
out of the sun.
Nerd.
Yeah. I had a medical thing and it did get resolved. And I did find a whole brighter side from this with the news stories.
Hell yeah.
But I've been trying to test for perimenopause. I'll tell you guys watching right now, I don't know if I have it. You know, I am sort of getting in my age and I haven't had my menstrual cycle in like a month and a half. And sometimes you wonder because I'm like, oh, I'm getting frustrated. But is it because of my hormones or because of the world?
Yeah.
I know. I mean, that's the whole thing with perimenopause, menopause is so many of the symptoms are just like what women have been dealing with our
Anxiety,
entire lives.
depression,
I mean, it's the
yeah.
same thing with like ADHD, right? It's like, yeah, are you overwhelmed? Do you have a big to-do list? You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
No
these are all the
doubt.
things
I
we're
like how
dealing
you
with constantly.
all the time. I like how you said like you don't know if you have it because I think of it as more of like I'm in it or I'm not in it. But
You've just
you
leveled
talked
up.
about it in like a having it or not having it, which feels like I like
Doom?
that. No, I like that because it feels more like it feels more treatable instead of like being in it.
Right.
Versus like it's something I have that I'm dealing with.
Right. And it's something like we're all going to get and half the population get. So I call up my healthcare provider and they just hang up the phone on me
Oh, geez.
several times.
Yeah.
And then I leave them messages. They say, we'll call you back. They do not call me back. I'm like at my ends rope. I go to CVS and I schedule a menopause treatment.
Through CVS?
Through CVS. And
Well,
then I get there
alright.
and they're like, oh, you,
No.
these ladies come out and they're like, we can't treat you today. You have to contact your primary care provider because it's blood work involved. And for us on our end, it could be $5,000, $500. And I was like, I've been calling them.
Yeah.
They hang up as soon as I say menopause. And they said, yeah, what you should do is say that you're feeling these symptoms and you want to come in. And then when you're in the office, say, test me for menopause. And I got so fucking mad. I started kind of crying. And I said, I have been contacting so many people.
Yeah,
and I have a very good girlfriend. I won't give her name out, but she had to go through a private, she pays very good money for insurance, like a lot more than I do. And they won't even test her. So she had to go through a private situation and pay them a lot of money and still wait like 3 to 6 months for an appointment.
Yeah.
So I was at my fucking, I was crying on the way over
Yeah.
here. Just no one saw me. I was walking
I
on the
got
highway.
This
so
happened
many
this morning?
recommendations.
This morning.
Oh my God, Amber. Well, you are composed as shit
I
if you
know.
went through that
Yeah, you
earlier
look
today.
great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not in it.
Mental breakdowns at the CVS. I mean, it
Wow.
also seems very warranted to get overwhelmed like that because that is so incredibly frustrating to be
And for them
like,
to just
look,
tell
I'm just
you-
trying to feel better. I'm just trying to
Yes.
figure out what the flip is going on.
And be like,
you know?
oh, don't say it's menopause. And I'm
Right.
like by the highway just being like, oh, so the Senate doesn't want to fuck me anymore, so I should die? Like I got so mad. I finally found somebody. It took like hours.
Ah, fuck.
to
Were you going to
figure out.
recommend MIDI?
Well, there's you know, a few girlfriends who have gone through it specifically here in LA who like did the whole rigmarole, contacting a bunch of different places. There's another service other than MIDI, but I know MIDI.
Because I know I've had
really
a lot
good.
of friends have like a
Yeah.
lot of success with MIDI.
Yeah.
I think it's like $40 and it's just like
It's really specifically
it's very
for, like,
specific
menopause
for
stuff.
perimenopause and
Really?
menopause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's just it's third party. So it's like doctors who work specifically on perimenopause and menopause, but you meet over telehealth.
Okay.
What's the one for depression. You know, Hers and Hims that like give you antidepressant medication and stuff. This is like that for perimenopause. It's called MIDI. And I know some girls who've had some women who've had some really positive experiences with MIDI.
Okay, so good to know for all the viewers and listeners out there that there's like you don't have to get hung up on and being told to gaslight your doctor.
Yeah,
Well,
you can always go around your doctor. Let's be real about that because they're not always on your side.
No.
Okay?
Who was I telling about this? There was I think in all this the healthcare stuff, like you hear different tips of things to say that like if you're in a doctor's office and you bring something up and they kind of dismiss it, like specifically saying, "Can you note in my chart that you're choosing not to look into this?"
Cool.
Because it really puts the onus on them of like notating specifically that you've brought up an issue and they're choosing to ignore it rather than to like submit for testing or further testing or to figure out what something else could be.
That's
So
a
many
great
things
note.
you don't even know.
You don't know. I have to clarify my comment. Doctors are on your side. It's doctors' offices. Doctors' offices who are dealing with insurance companies and insurance companies. Doctors are on your side. Doctors are on your side. That's
insurance companies are not on your side.
Insurance companies are not. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's a constant thing that like unfortunately you just have to keep finding maybe a second opinion or trying a different doctor. Like it is such a headache, but like sometimes you go in and doctors are people too.
Yeah.
And they could be having a bad day. They could have a million other things happening in their lives.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like you have to, put up with them. But if you're not getting a good vibe from somebody,
Get a second opinion.
Get a second opinion
I
or
went to
find another doctor or talk to
Yeah.
a friend about, who knows.
I went to a dentist's office and they scanned my teeth for just a regular cleaning and they said, "Ma'am, you have so many cavities. We're going to have to set up a plan right now and a payment." And as soon as they said like a payment plan, I was like, "Oh, I'm getting a second opinion." Like if you're immediately asking for more money and they said I had like 6 cavities, I go to a dentist a mile down the road. They were like, "You have the teeth of a 22-year-old.
Crazy.
Wow.
There's no cavities."
So they're hot. They're telling you got some sexy teeth.
The teeth of a 22-year-old.
I had a similar
Yeah.
experience. I had a friend, I had a varicose vein, and I had a friend recommend a doctor to get this varicose vein taken out. And she was like, "Oh my God, he's so helpful. He's amazing. He's an angel." He found while he was taking out one of my varicose veins that I have this super rare condition that requires a stent to be placed in an artery up here. And it's just like, he could have saved my life. And I was like, "Oh my God, let me go to this doctor." So I go to the doctor to get my varicose vein removed, and he removes it. And then afterwards, he's like, "You have a very rare condition that requires a stent to be put in." And I was like, "Wait a minute. You're telling me and my friend who
Oh
both
my
came to see
God.
you have this very rare condition?" He was like, well, I'm not 100% saying you have it. It's just the signs are pointing towards you possibly having that. And then I went and got a second opinion, and they were like, "No, you're good. Like, don't ever go back to that guy." So second opinions are great.
Second opinions are great.
Also-
remember, doctors are practicing medicine.
Yeah.
They are not experts.
Oh, and who's the expert at medicine? God.
Oh, God.
Just a witch in the woods. It just gives you.
What was the news thing that made you feel better about what you
So, okay, so this is going to start off as not good, but it is good. There are a lot of advancements for specifically women's healthcare because it is so bad. I think only 6% of according to a new report from the World Economic Forum, only 6% of all private health investments are allocated to women's health. And also the World Economic Forum says, even though with every $1 used to spend on women's health, it has a $3 economic growth. And I'm guessing it's because if mommy's sick, the kids don't go to school.
Yeah.
The kids said, like, nothing happens if mommy's sick. It has gotten so bad that the World Health Organization has stepped in and is now giving grants and advancements to universities and medical providers to look into, not providers, but like scientists to specifically look into advancements for women. So what's coming up? Early detection of endometriosis.
Oh, that's great.
If you don't know this, it's very, very painful. And to even know if you have it can take years. But there's new advancements that can take even days with a little swab. There's a company, so there's a lot of positive reviews. EndoSure. There's a lot of positive reviews of like it found out immediately. It has some negative reviews saying it had a false It said I didn't have it, but I actually did. And it's pretty new, so there's not a whole lot of peer-reviewed studies on it. But for like the most part, I'd say like 90% of it, I would try it out if you think you might have endometriosis.
Yeah, I think in general, like so much of that stuff. I mean, even like menopause, perimenopause, it's just people are talking about it more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking about it more. Yeah, there's just way more like medical advancements.
Yeah.
So even in our lifetime, and like even in girls in their 20s who will go through menopause in like 20 years from now, they're gonna have medical advancements we can't even dream of.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even studies being done on Michigan State studying chronic pain and how it differs from men and women, and its immune system influences. So look at that.
Fascinating.
Gosh, my good news is also kind of tangentially tied to women's health. One of my things. I think we have some great news on our hands is that South Carolina needs a new senator. Okay, Lindsey Graham ain't a senator anymore.
I know, but isn't his sister taking over?
Well, I don't really know the full details, but I do know that he's out of office, and that's good news because he has repeatedly throughout his time voted against women's health issues, specifically abortion related, and voted against gay rights, and just seemed to be kind of a hateful person in general.
Oh, right. Didn't he have his little ladybugs?
Yes, I mean that is
that was just warts around his moles around his anus.
That is the rumor from escorts online. But what isn't a
don't
rumor?
mind that. That's just my little ladybugs.
What is not a rumor is the fact that he has voted over and over again to deny women access to abortion and to stop the progression of gay rights under the federal government, protections under the federal government. And now he's gone.
Now he's gone.
That's my brighter side. That's one of my news stories.
Man, huge brighter side. Also, I think we were all waiting for the news about Mitch McConnell, and then for it to be Lindsey Graham, we're all like, go, what?
Yeah.
But the thing that this reminds me of is Amy Coney Barrett, right? She came out today and was talking about how like her and the other Supreme Court folks, this isn't good news.
I can't wait to hear what you got to say.
There's a little bit of this, a
you
little bit of
got
that.
so serious and you started talking
I know,
slower,
and I was like, this
your
isn't a
voice
good thing. This is
and-
me just being annoyed at these conservative folks for being so freaking hypocritical. But Amy Coney Barrett came out and was like talking about how her and the other Supreme Court folks need more safety measures because they're being like, people are being followed home from school. She's being followed home from school. She's got to wear a bulletproof vest and how she's got to explain that to her son. And it's like, but you consecutively vote against like gun rights or like, gun regulation.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
And like,
so you are dealing
the
with
health and safety of other people. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you, babe.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I have zero sympathy for you.
And I think, you bringing up the ladybugs is also kind of a brighter side to this as well, is that I feel like so many escorts he did hire are feeling like they can come out and talk about it more openly and tell their stories. And, I'd love for one to come out with some pictures, okay? Because the conservatives that I can tell are just saying that these are like defamatory stories. But if we can get some facts on, we know they're true.
Yeah.
But if we get some facts on the paper, that would be nice. So
every now and then, y'all see something on my Instagram reel, if it's like a guy in like a weird leather suit that can't see or speak and he's just like being sucked in a vacuum and it's like, this is your Republican senator. I did meet a dominatrix at a bar one time and she was like muscled out, all black leather, and we were chatting, like lovely lady, and I was like, tell me about like what you can tell with your clients. And she said it's a lot of wealthy, powerful, right-leaning men that want a woman to yell at them, step on their balls, like whip them. And I'm just like, what? And I said, how can you tell? She's like, after years of experience, you can just kind of tell.
Crazy.
Was this in New York or LA?
New York.
How much money was she making?
She was buying cocktails all night.
Yeah.
I was buying like, not Bud Lights. What did we
PBR?
drink? PBRs.
Yeah.
So that's an example. And she was dressed like in all like nice clothes.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So what else?
Well, I've got a different story that I'm really excited to tell you guys about.
Yeah.
You guys know Pitbull, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
Heard of him.
Well, he's currently on a worldwide tour, and he has a group of fans that have started following him to shows dressed in bald caps, and he calls them the bald E's, like bald
Yes.
and then big capital letter E. And they were saying it's this bald E movement, right? And these like group of these folks coming around with bald caps. Anyway, just a few days ago, he did a huge show in Britain somewhere, and they had a Guinness Book of World Record person there, and they had the largest community gathering of people in bald caps.
Hell yeah.
Like 22,000, a few hundred folks.
That's a lot of
And it's
people.
just like in the world record
Like imagine people like 22,000 people coming with like red wigs
in
on
bald caps.
for you. You know,
Yes,
like, that's a
for
lot
sure.
of people,
That
but
is
like
a
in
lot of
bald
people.
caps.
I just
Yeah.
love that he.
Well, he's
I
like,
don't know. I just love that he was like, I love you guys. Like, thanks for coming out. You all made this happen. Now we're all a part of history.
Oh my God, you're saying bald caps,
Bald.
not ball caps, like a baseball cap.
No,
You're saying
bald.
B-A-L-D.
Yeah.
like they're mimicking his
Gotcha.
hair. That's
Yeah.
great. He's
But
such
that's
a
the
fun
thing.
guy.
Like, instead of being like, oh man, they're all out here mimicking me, whatever. He's just like, y'all love me,
that's
which is
sweet.
true.
Mimicking
You know?
is flattery.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
If a drag queen dresses up like you, that's kind of flattering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because now you have like something to look. You know what I mean? Like you have something that they can like mimic.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think that it would be like if someone was making fun of him, that is so far to go to buy tickets.
yeah,
to
for
get,
sure. Yeah, for
and
sure.
to wear a bald cap. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
But yeah, 22,141 fans.
Wow.
Set the Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of people wearing bald caps.
Fuck yeah. Now, if
Love
somebody
it.
were to mimic y'all, what do you think they would do? Like, imagine 22,000 people and they had to like wear a couple things to be like, oh my God, that's Ashley. That's Julie. What would they wear?
Well, I don't have it in my hair right now,
Oh.
but I usually have my bun up with a pencil.
Okay.
Because that's at school. I do that a lot so that I'll have a couple pencils in there so I can give a kid a pencil if they need it. And I always need to write something down. So it's right there. So I think,
Right.
I think that if you were mimicking me, you definitely have some pencils in your hair.
I'm surprised he didn't say anything about that, the scalp guy. Do you wear pencils in your hair?
Yeah. What? See? Great
got a lot.
point.
You
Great
got
point.
some lead
He
marks.
didn't know anything, did he? Yeah.
So pencil in the hair.
Pencil in the hair,
in the
pencil in the
hair.
bun for sure. Yeah. What about
Man,
you?
I don't know what mine would be.
It'd be red, long, flowing hair.
Yeah, just a bunch of red, long-haired wigs out there.
Yeah. Beautiful. Amber.
Probably brown wigs and a bunch of women going, hey, right.
I think combat boots and a skirt. I think
Yeah.
girly meets tough.
Girly meets boy, boy meets girly. Let's see.
I have bad news that goes into good news.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, it's just like, I said this week was like very tough because there's a lot of bad news. And that this in particular, this exercise made me look at the other side of things, try and find the, dare I say it, brighter side.
Nice.
And something that I looked into was we all know about sort of the presidential. The presidential.
The rap battle. The
Yeah.
presidential rap battle. Yeah. We all know that.
We all know about the presidential
The
rap battle.
presidential rap battle. No, the presidential proclamations from, I think, July 13th, where he signed away about 3 million acres
Yes.
of wilderness in Utah.
Oh, yeah. We got to build a Costco at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Exactly.
We need it.
We need more data centers than we need natural miracles. So I got really upset about that. I'm like, oh no.
Well, to be honest, as a person who was at the Grand Canyon, there was one grocery store. I kind of wish there was another one. I was just like, this is a little out of the way. But then I was like, I'm at the Grand Canyon.
This is a little out of the way.
Well, this isn't the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
But
Utah, yeah.
This is
Oh,
Utah.
oops.
Yeah, but your point has been made.
Sorry, I don't
And-
listen. I don't listen.
And I hope the Grand Canyon does listen because they need to get another grocery store. But yeah, I just got so mad. 3 million acres.
Is it specifically to build something, or are they just?
They're opening
Just
it
removing-
up
removing
for
protections.
they're removing protection. So it'll probably be sold to the highest bidder. I'm sure we'll get some data centers in there, some mining. But the brighter side is that this presidential proclamation is highly challengeable. Okay. It's highly challengeable. And from what I can tell, people are very upset online. And when people get upset online, sometimes things get better. People make a difference sometimes.
They're coming together, and a lot of AI data centers have stopped production or have downsized.
Yes.
And people are just like straight up, they're attacking flock cameras.
Yeah.
Maybe, am I supposed to say you're not supposed to do that? Whatever. But they're doing that.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that.
I also
Attacking
think
Waymos.
people are getting they're getting more activated at like the local level. Like you keep seeing clips of people at local town halls being like, we don't want these data centers, and if you sign these in or allow these to be built, like we're going to vote you out, So I think there's a lot more people. I think it is bringing people more attention.
And the thing is that he is referencing this like 1906 act called the Antiquities Act, which allows presidents to sign into creation national monuments. That's what the Antiquities Act allows of 1906. And he's saying, well, that means if I can sign them into national monuments, I can sign them out of national monuments. And that is not in the wording, dear sir. And so it's highly challengeable. Lots of lawsuits, a lot of organizations are already coming saying we're going to challenge us all the way to the top. And the Supreme Court's not necessarily the best it could be at the moment, but it's
I will say,
oh, here we go.
The Supreme Court did mandate that he pay Gene Carroll.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Eugene Carroll.
Yeah. Lots of money.
$5.6 million or something.
That's right.
Like, I mean, the Supreme Court that he's pretty much voted in was basically like, nah, he's a rapist.
Yeah. Right. So, but what I want to say is that if this angers you, you can call your senator, okay? And you can call your congressman and talk about it, because this is going to be challenged and it will go before Congress. And so if you let your voice be heard, which, I assume we're all doing whenever we get mad, or at least trying to do. And by trying, I do mean thinking about doing it and talking to others about doing it. Okay. Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Speaking of monuments, this is negative. Have you seen the Barack Obama monument? Because it looks like a Soviet prison.
No.
I have it pulled up right here. Like when you think of Obama, you think of hope, right?
Yeah.
That's his whole campaign.
Yeah.
I think of just like 2013.
Where is this one?
Look at this. This is his monument.
Where is that?
Where is that?
We need more background information. Amber just showed us the saddest looking building I've ever seen.
It's the saddest looking building.
What's going on there?
Yeah, but
Who
where is
designed
the
it?
building?
Where is the monument? And it is in Chicago's historic Jackson Park on the south side. This is not, get a look, everybody, when you get home. Like it just is brutalism.
Yeah, but what's the point of it? Why was it
there's
created?
there's got to be some symbolism. There's got to be something. I mean, there's circles around. Maybe there's
Okay, I'm looking
maybe
it
like
up right
from
now.
above
No.
it looks like something else.
No, it's like I don't understand why did you do this? Like I don't want to go anywhere
man.
near there. Somebody in an unmarked car is gonna pick me up. What are you doing, Obama?
Oh man, I'm sure he didn't.
Okay, the Barack Obama Presidential Center is a newly opened $850 million cultural museum complex in Chicago's Jackson Park. Dedicated on June 18th, 2026, the 19.3-acre campus features a museum, public library, athletic facilities, and gardens to commemorate America's 44th president.
Okay.
So just a standard memorial.
The museum, a 220-foot monolith, displays 4 floors of exhibits, including a replica. Yeah, who designed... Okay, architecture, clad in stone. The tower includes words from President Obama's Selma to Montgomery March speech etched into its facade. So maybe a part of its design was to better hold words, I'm guessing. You know?
It might be one of those things when you're
There's
there.
no windows. Sorry.
But maybe once you're there, like maybe it has like a majestic feel to it.
This?
Oh, I see the words. The words are at the top. So that corner is like the words.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah, I wonder why there are no windows. That's a really good point.
Maybe there's secret windows.
It looks like a prison for school shooters. Like I don't understand.
maybe there's like maybe the top is all a window, and that way the sun comes in
What
that
would
way.
you have designed? What would you have liked to
For
see?
Obama or for
yeah,
me?
Yeah, for Obama. Let's think about that. Like, would you want like a classic sort of Roman Greco style that we see in D.C. with like the Lincoln Memorial, or would you want sort of like a Gothic style with like a large flying buttress and these sort of cavernous ceilings? What feels Obama-ish to you?
I wouldn't say Roman because he was kind of a change up in presidents. He had Obamacare, which was pretty new. He did do a lot of drone strikes, so he wasn't. Was he like the best guy in the world? No, but I'm also not in a cult. Like I can criticize a president that I voted for. So I would picture something like vibrant, something very colorful, something open. I almost wouldn't even picture like a giant statue, just something like a gardens.
Oh, but it's so they.
This
it
is a
seems they wanted-
museum.
It's
So
a
it's like a
museum and a
4-floor
library.
museum and
So we
library.
got to include 4 floors.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah.
What do you see for Obama?
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Like the words, I don't know what words are written on
Yeah.
the side of the building. Maybe it's
I
really cool
don't-
when you're there.
The building, the lack of windows is the most disturbing part. So I think with Obama, I would want, if we're going to build a building for him,
Windows. It's
I'd like
bright, it's
windows,
open.
airy, 4 foot. I
Where
hear what
drones
you're
can
saying about. I hear what you're saying about like he was a change in some ways, but I also feel like he was kind of a throwback in my mind to like FDR and Lincoln. You know, I have a hard time not Obama has a lot of flaws, but I also like loved him and believed in him deeply. So I kind of put him on that pedestal. So I could see sort of like maybe a Greco-Roman, like columns and light and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just don't, I don't know. I don't know a lot about architecture, but who knows? Maybe it needed to be sustainable.
Yeah.
For
No,
there.
that's
It
true.
needed to be material that's not going to like wear down. You
Yeah.
know?
we could
Anything, I
look into
pictured
it more.
something light and colorful, and not like get in the basement.
What would
Get
your
in the basement.
what would your museum library look like? Your four floor Amber Nelson Museum Library.
It would have a slide going from the 4th floor to the bottom, and it would look
Nice.
like Candyland, and it would look like a Candyland, but have some like dark stuff to it. Like, isn't there like a Mr. like in Candyland?
I don't remember Candyland really. I just know that there are chutes and ladders in Candyland, right? Or is
Yes.
that another game?
No, yeah, shoots and ladders.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I played with a couple like little girls recently. So that's the
Okay.
only reason I know.
It's in your mind.
It's in my mind.
Yeah.
But there would be like a cast of characters roaming, almost
Yeah.
like a haunted house.
Ooh.
And they'd be like, "Ooh, hey, what are you doing here?"
Yeah. I'm gonna go for
Nice.
mine. I'm gonna do Swiss Family Robinson treehouse style, but
Very
each
cool.
treehouse is like the library, the museum, and they're really big and they're built in like an Ewok village kind
There's like
of.
a whole section on
Awesome.
Ashley's beauty school adventures.
Yeah, you can go get your hair done, and then you can get a Mountain Dew and smoke a cigarette in the back.
Yeah, that's at Ashley's museum.
That's what I
More
was
of
doing
like
in beauty
like
school.
a farmer's market or like an antique mall. Just a bunch of different booths of people that I've interacted and lived with.
Oh,
and,
that's
you know?
fun. Yeah, like little
knows?
booths you can walk up to
Yeah.
and get stuff.
Yeah, like Jackie
Totally.
and Jeff selling their wares, like romantic
sure.
selling their wares.
That's fun.
Jackie and Jeff lookalikes.
That's
That'd be
fun.
great.
Anybody got another story they want to talk about?
Well, okay. Did you, when you were a kid, did you watch Wishbone at all?
Oh yeah, I loved Wishbone. Is that dog? Yeah.
What's the story, Wishbone? I mean, I loved
a
it
dog.
so much. And they just did a documentary about it, about the making of it.
He died, right?
And-
Did they kill him a lot?
Well, he's a very old dog.
Not like Milo and Otis. They were like 7,000 cats and dogs in that. 'cause they
No,
would just run him
he
over.
retired in 2000, or no, he retired and then died of old age at the age of 13 or something. But anyway, he I don't know. I guess I was like weary of watching the documentary because you know when you have such like fond memories of something as a kid that you're like, oh God, are they going to come out with is there going to be some scandal
Is there
in the
a dark
background? Is there
side
a
to
dark side to
Wishbone?
Wishbone? And then it honestly was
He was
the
molesting.
most like lovely
He's a molester.
story of people just like they pitched this show, they cared so much about the show,
Aw.
and then it was a lot of people like given their first opportunity to make a TV show, like the the hair and makeup department, even like the writer was like she got brought in to do the first 5 scripts like as like kind of a proof of concept, and then they ordered like 35 more.
Wow.
And one of the first writers, do you remember Mo Rocco?
Why does that sound so familiar?
He was on The Daily Show, like very early in The Daily Show. Comedian, you would recognize him. But apparently this original writer was very good friends with Mo Rocco, and he came down from New York. The show was made in Dallas. But it just was like such a wholesome documentary of people being like, we wanted to bring literature or classic literature to kids and just how much care they put into the whole thing. And then ultimately, something I didn't know is that with children's programming, they do this thing called stripping it, which like sounds
they should come up with a new name.
Need a new name. Yeah. Just like
I think
cinephile.
it's short for like
New name.
comic stripping, I guess is what they say, is where essentially they want a new episode every day. And so it became very difficult to do that for a show like Wishbone because it was live action, like really big sets that they made, like in like a very intricate costuming. And so they just couldn't, it was too expensive to produce. So they ultimately did one season, 40 episodes.
Wow.
And
Remember when a season was 40 episodes?
Crazy.
Insane.
Now it's like 6.
Yeah, it's like 6 to 8.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's just, it was just such a show that I watched all the time as a kid.
There was only one season of Wishbone?
There was only one season of it.
That is the most surprising thing
Yeah,
of the
for
story.
sure.
Because I
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
I was assuming it ran for 8 seasons.
I know.
Wow.
No, but what happened is, so the first season went out, was very popular. They kept doing the guy who voiced Wishbone and the trainer of the dog. The dog's real name was Soccer, which I thought was very unusual name for a dog.
Yeah.
Soccer?
Yeah.
So funny. But anyway, so they did these tours around the United States, and they said they had like crowds of like 7,000 people coming to like meet Wishbone, kids who just were in love with Wishbone.
Oh my gosh.
And,
90s children's programming was incredible.
Because it was all like empathy.
Yeah.
Let's learn about empathy and care.
Right.
Yeah, and like reading's cool, and the kids were like, "It is
Like reading Rainbow. And you
Yeah.
used to get pizza tickets when you went to the book fair
That's
and like
right.
check
Yeah.
stuff out.
Yeah, and Pizza Hut had like a summer reading program I
Yeah.
used to do,
Which I
and
think they might be
they
bringing that
better
back.
be.
I think I
hope
read
so.
that. I feel like that's something that Pizza Hut is doing.
I
Is it Pizza
talked
Hut
about
summer reading
this.
program?
Yeah, Pizza
Yeah.
Hut summer reading program. I talked about this on the pod before, but with Ghostwriter, like the show that I loved on PBS, the thing when I looked into it that was so shocking was like Nike had a children's education fund that they were just they gave like Ghostwriter like $10 million because
Crazy.
Nike was like, well, we're a rich company and we'd like to help children be smarter. So here you go, which is just not something we have corporations really doing nowadays.
No, not at all.
Book It offers 2 programs serving students pre-K through 6th grade nationwide. Children who meet their reading goals can earn a free 1-topping personal pan pizza each program month. So it's coming back.
It's coming
Hell
back.
yeah,
June
Pizza
1st.
Hut.
Nice.
Yeah.
First the reading
Yeah.
program, then bring back the salad bar. 'Cause I
Yeah.
miss it, Pizza
God
Hut.
damn, I love the Pizza Hut salad.
and then bring
Yeah.
back the chandelier.
Yeah, the red Tiffany lamp style Pizza Hut chandeliers.
I discovered the reason why, like, we see a lot of like you drive by McDonald's and it used to be like a playpen and like
Yeah.
a lot of colors and very distinct, and now it's just kind of gray. And it's so retailers retailers, they can be like, oh, McDonald's failed? That's cool. We'll just put in a T-Mobile here.
Oh,
it doesn't matter. It can
interesting.
just be like interchangeable.
Well, there's also just like, that's an interesting, so it's just sort of the idea of turnover that you're talking about. But there's also been like throughout the past 30 years, this sort of grayification of public spaces and everything has become white and black. And like, oh my gosh, you remember the Disney store in the 90s?
Oh my gosh,
And how
yeah.
colorful it was, or like the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we even saw this recently in Disneyland with the Jazz Kitchen.
Can we talk about the Jazz Kitchen?
Yeah,
have
tell Amber
Have we
about-
talked about the Jazz Kitchen?
You and I personally have not talked about the Jazz Kitchen.
Every time we walk past it, Ed and
It's
I
shocking.
talk about how frustrating it is.
Yeah.
So one of the first.
Ew, it's worse than the Obama thing. I thought Jazz Kitchen sounds like you'd be like, bop, 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 like
It
jazz.
was. It was
It
awesome.
was.
Look at. Can you Google Amber Jazz Kitchen before the remodel?
It
So-
looks like a Panera bread.
It's
Yeah.
so gross. So, okay, one of the first times, so when Eddie and I were first starting, dating, he was out here on some project and I was still in New York. And he was like, well, just meet me down. Let's just go to Disneyland. We'll just go to Disney
Yeah.
for like a day or two. And we have this we had this really good memory of being at the jazz kitchen and having dinner and there being a jazz band. And like, we've got this really great photo of us from the jazz kitchen on our refrigerator. And then we were there after the remodel or something, and we walked in and it was shocking. Literally, like, the walls are white, the tables and chairs are white. There was like, there's no character at all. And we were sitting there talking to the waiter, telling him how, like, what happened, what is the deal with this remodel? They used to have live music. And then out of nowhere, this one guy with a saxophone just comes up out of nowhere in the corner, just like, beep, 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 beep. And he's like, oh no, we do have live music. And I was like, yeah, but he looks like a homeless man that is in the wrong place. Like, this is like,
the jazz
so
kitchen
gross.
beforehand was like colorful and had personality. And, I do think sometimes they have music, but it felt like back before the remodel, there was always music. And it was just like, now it just looks like any sort of suburban restaurant could be nothing.
They do it so nobody can complain?
I think it was probably like we gotta get more tables in here. How do we get more tables? Okay, get rid of the stage. Get rid of the stage. Get rid of this.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Do you think it was? Well, it's Disney, but a lot of these companies, because I used to follow this account on YouTube that it would discuss why a business was shut down. Every single time is because somebody started a business. It was doing really well. It had a lot of energy and character and like a good design. People flock to it, and then private equity buys it up, and they say, okay, Panera Bread, for example, how about we stop using fresh bread, which it's in the name of the thing. So they would just import cheap-ass bread, make the soups from Cisco. Like, they just made everything worse.
Yeah.
So they
the
could
shittification.
the shittification of it, so they can like fit in more tables. Let's take out the jazz band stage.
The thing that doesn't make sense about the jazz kitchen is that Disney puts so much care into all of the tiny little details.
Yeah.
Why would they not care about that?
It boggles
restaurant?
my mind. It boggles my mind. And just the grayification of current spaces is very confusing to me. And this is some inside information. Disney spent billions of dollars on their New York studios in Tribeca. So it's a whole block in Tribeca, and it opened a couple of years ago. And I had the privilege of a tour of it, and it's massive. It's where all the ABC shows are filmed. There's a private theater there. It's incredible, but it is all black and white. And it's so bare, it's so minimalist. And there was, at one point, I went down into this room and it had like all of these pictures of people who have worked for Disney or ABC over the years on the wall, and these like action shots and headshots, and they were all black and white. And I was like looking at them, because at first I assumed they were black and white because they came from an era of black and white photos. But then I was like, no, these are recent photos that they chose to make black and white to fit into this room of black and white. And there's something that feels very insidious about it. I don't know what the answer is, but the lack of color and the fact that color and character is being stripped from all of these spaces is concerning.
Well, to me, it's like, there's some psychologist or someone that came in and was like, this needs to be,
red makes people hyper, orange makes people
or like maybe they were like, if this is too overwhelming, then it won't foster their creativity at their desk, or who the hell knows,
But I'm pretty sure, and do not quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that there's been like a ton of studies that show black and white sort of like monolith type environments actually reduce creativity. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's what the elites want, everybody.
So the brighter side of that is that we can paint our rooms and we can find color ourselves.
I've been noticing a lot of Instagram reels of decorating that's just like bombastic, and they say minimalism is out.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I love maximalism. Yeah, I'm a maximalist myself.
I'm a maximalist. I want the trinkets. I want the color. I want mismatched patterns.
Yes, absolutely.
I have some red lace curtains in my living room.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is fun. To me, it is a better environment than when there's nothing. When there's nothing, I almost feel like kind of like uncomfortable. I like being around a bunch of color and images, and there's like a warmth to it.
There's got to be somebody from like the Epstein class, because it is proven in his documents of how he can just kill a bunch of poor people. And how there's got to be some like people that knew him or studied with him.
It's proven in his documents.
Like, how can I kill it? And if you go to the South and a lot of very poor places, it's like, oh, this is like an active plan from the government to kill everybody. Like,
What are we
you can
talking
see
about?
it.
What is?
Just like rich people just killing off poor people, just taking away all like government abilities.
You mean like limiting resources?
Just things done on purpose to just decimate these towns.
Well, it's kind of like how public housing, like, always there's very small windows because glass, like, costs more than brick, right? But that also has a psychological effect of keeping people sort of feeling down in these public housings because there's not much sunlight.
There had to have been somebody along in his circle of friends that was like, how do we make people more docile? Because when it's vibrant, you're out, you're doing things. You're going to the Woodstock 99 concert and rioting because water bottles were $7.
Yeah.
But if we make everything just gray, white, and black, and then it's all just like tables nailed to the floor, no big windows, then slowly but surely over time, we will see people be stripped of their energy. I think. In my opinion.
I think.
So another brighter side thing I wanted to bring up, another positive news story, is that really, like, overall in this year and last year, we've seen the decline of violent crimes has gone over 50% in this country since the 90s. So the height of violent crimes in America was, according to the FBI, in 1991.
Maybe it's the gray. Maybe it's all the gray. We're
Maybe
not killing
it's
each
all the gray.
other. We're not seeing red.
Yeah, and there was a little spike during COVID. And of course, this isn't for everyone. Like, some cities are different, but this is America as a whole, the United States as a whole. Violent crime has decreased over 50% since 1991. So that's a positive.
That's huge.
That's huge. And another positive is that
now, what do we say? What's violent? What are we talking about? Just people getting
rape,
shanked?
homicide.
Okay.
Rape and homicide for
Calling
sure.
me ugly.
That's definitely gone down.
Not
50%.
liking this video on YouTube.
That's violent
Like and
crime.
subscribe.
Another thing that's gone up is like women in power roles in companies. So like that is the height in 2025. More women in positions of power in corporations. Not that I ever want to talk about corporations, but still, I like women being in positions to make decisions. Another thing that has gone up is we have seen in the past year, the conservation efforts are not only working in some places, but succeeding better than predicted. So not just conserving land, but fostering more growth than expected.
I saw that was going to be one of my brighter sides. I think on the 250th anniversary, some scientists looked around and they said, holy shit, we've actually conserved more than, because I think when people first came from Europe here, they were like, let's take down all the trees because it gets.
I need a dresser.
I need a dresser.
We
basically.
got to build a home.
And we're getting all those trees back.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's been we've seen a lot of really positive news. And another positive is I had it on the tip of my tongue. I love how y'all take notes. I'm going to do that next time. I really need to bring notes. I just assume I'm going to remember everything.
I take notes because even with me taking notes, I'm like, yeah, and stuff. And it's in the Epstein files.
The thing that I read kind of along the lines of conservation is that California just banned octopus farms, which, it's, I don't know if you guys saw the movie My Octopus Teacher.
No, but I know that they're incredibly intelligent.
They're incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's crazy because you go to a Mediterranean Greek restaurant in Queens and it's like, I love octopus is on the menu. It's very good. I have enjoyed it. I have to admit, I have enjoyed it.
Yeah, who's not eating calamari?
Yeah, and then then you watch these movies, and then you realize oh, these are actually very smart creatures.
See, I thought calamari was pig ass the whole time. I was enjoying the pig ass.
No,
now you're telling me it's
that's
octopus?
shitless.
You were actively
I'm just
ordering.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
One plate of pig ass, please.
With a side of ketchup.
That's great news. I love
Yeah,
that. Next
yeah.
up, pig farms. They're so smart.
Yeah,
and
pigs
wonderful.
are really
pigs.
smart.
I love them. They're funny and sweet. They're
Yeah.
just little dumb dogs, but even smarter than dogs because they can do toddler
sure.
games.
They kind of scare me though.
Really?
Yeah, because pigs can eat anything.
They can't eat anything, and then they can bite you.
Yeah.
We used to do this thing when I was a kid where we would try and ride like a pig, who could ride the pig the longest. And so you'd have to get into the pig pen. You'd get covered in shit, and you would jump on the back of a pig and see who can. You're only up there for like 3 seconds.
They can
tops.
eat you.
They could. I remember. I have many memories of being a kid and a pig just running at me and me being terrified and getting. Terrified of getting bitten.
That's how people dispose of bodies.
It's
they
true.
like dump them in the
right.
pit.
Meanwhile, we were like, who can ride it the longest? Get on there. Get on there.
They're like, get home.
Yeah.
Another story I was reading about is that in Yellowstone, I don't know if you guys saw this, there was an older gentleman with his grandson who got attacked by a bison.
I saw that video. Did you see that video, Amber? It's crazy. This man gets thrown in the air like a rag
he
doll.
lives,
8
right?
feet high.
I think he lives.
Flies up. I think he broke like a leg and
He's
something
not doing
else.
great, but he
wasn't doing great.
lived.
But there was all this controversy around whether or not the people who work at Yellowstone were going to euthanize this bison. And they decided they're not gonna euthanize.
They were like,
the
he was
bison.
just being a bison.
He was just being a bison.
Yeah, he was going on the bison land.
Well, so when we did the Trans Catalina Trail, there's bison on Catalina, and they tell you like safest distance is over 50 feet. There is no actual safe distance. They're very like aggressive animals. If they feel like you are in any way threatening to them, they will charge you. And so like watching the video of how kind of close this guy was.
Yeah.
But the video was like in the article when they were talking about it, this gentleman, he was like, look, like, we did nothing to antagonize this animal. This animal truly was just being a bison.
Yeah.
And then he said, he was like, I just want people to know that like he chose not to kill me. Like he threw me in the air.
Yeah.
And then the old man was like laying on the ground and the bison could have like stomped him and done other things.
Yeah.
And basically it was just like, fuck off. Like walked away. So he's just like, the bison chose to let me live.
Yeah.
Warning shot.
Like, yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
What
But
did you say?
Mother
That was
Nature.
a warning shot.
Oh, yeah, warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that the bison on Catalina Island were brought in for a movie.
Yeah, and then they were left
then
there.
they became wild.
Yeah, they
good for
just were
them.
left
Yeah,
there.
good for them. Repopulating.
I know, but it was funny because like we were terrified. We really didn't want to get anywhere near them. But so we were like up on this ridge and just kind of had binoculars and we're like looking at them. And there was one who was just like looked like a dog was just like rolling around on its back. It was like the cutest thing.
Oh,
Kind of cool.
it doesn't feel threatened by a dog.
No.
No.
I got one last news story if we have
Hell yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So this is from Frontiers in Neuroscience, and this is in July 13th.
Love neuroscience.
So this is the best way if I can explain it.
Okay.
right? So there's this octogenarian.
Octogenarian?
Octogenarian. That's anybody from 80 to 89 years old. So there's this woman. Not a lot is revealed about her personal life. She's Japanese American, but she was reported to have advanced stage Alzheimer's for over a decade. And I think for the past 5 years, she couldn't pee. She was just peeing. She was just peeing all the time in
She
diapers.
couldn't control her bladder.
And
Okay.
she would just like blurt out one syllable sentences and just kind of stare off. Like it was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And so scientists gave her 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Right after she was like sweating a lot and kind of like shivering and sweating. And then she slept for like 19 hours. And that was like the trip.
Whoa.
The next day, 19 hours after taking them, she opened her eyes, sat up on her own, and began to talk.
Oh my God.
Yes, at day 3, she regained bladder control. By day 6, because she could make eye contact, laugh, remember things for the short term, and would say things like, "It is pleasant to come here." Months later, a second supervision session was done with 3 grams, and it was all supervised. They weren't just like giving her drugs and throwing her away. Very supervised. She had greater facial expressivity and mimicry, spontaneous humor, greater agility of walking. So scientists are now looking at mushrooms
Wow.
and how they can
Yeah.
help people
I was-
with Alzheimer's.
I was
Nature's
trying to find the
medicine.
story. There was a politician. I don't think he is from the U.S. I forget where, but basically, like his mom was dealing with Alzheimer's, and his dad. I keep hitting your microphone. Sorry. Him and his dad gave like all 3 of them with his mom took
A family trip.
Family trip. They all did a little family trip together.
Yeah, we're not going to Grand Canyon. We know mushrooms.
So this politician was like talking about it on like on the floor of it wasn't Congress. This is gonna kill me. I forget what country it was, but basically he's like in a political setting, and he's recanting this story of being like, I was never one to like, support this type of drug or whatever, but watching my mom suddenly be able to have conversation with me when she hasn't been able to for a very long time because of Alzheimer's, like it's completely changed his. But it's it's becoming a huge part of Alzheimer's research.
So this sounds like, sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say, now whenever I eat mushrooms, I just laugh a lot and then fall asleep. What's up with that?
I mean, Alzheimer's, it's very scary.
For sure.
Because it seems like you can't speak, but you're still in there.
Yeah.
So I would say the brighter side of a lot of this episode is science has really taken off.
Yeah.
Even though healthcare fucking blows my ass, the insurance
still
companies
out there.
You're going to find your way around it, girl.
Yeah.
You are going to find your way around it.
And then you're going to have a platform to share what you learn.
Because science and doctors themselves, they're great.
Yeah.
Positive for humanity.
Yeah.
I want to read your research. Please keep doing what you're doing. It's the insurance companies that are like, yeah, let me get a little bit of that.
Yeah. And the insurance company, I mean, it's also like a real dark like hole that you go down with like insurance companies and banks and loans and all of this like money that's tied up into insurance companies. I also like don't have the article on hand, but when I was reading, I learned that like MS research has also like made a huge breakthrough in the past year. Yeah. So it looks like, science is keeps on keeping on, and it's going further in the positive direction.
And there's still smart people.
There's still like smart people who want to make a difference.
Yeah. The news sells with flamboyant, horrible things. It's kind of like when I was a kid, there was a really great youth pastor. And there was a really bad youth pastor or a really bad preacher who got the good youth pastor out because people were jealous because they liked the good youth pastor. I can only remember the name of the bad preacher.
Wow.
I forgot the name of the good youth pastor.
There you go. Because we are motivated by fear and and people use fear to control us. And we have to remember to see the brighter side because if we look at it and we go in that direction, humanity will move forward.
It will. People are still smart. They still care for each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I take the bus every day and like knock on wood, like people are like looking out.
Yeah.
So I think it's not as bad as TikTok says.
Yeah, it's not.
Right?
Definitely.
Right. So get out there, take the bus, go see a doctor, go get your health checkup if you can.
Yeah. That's right.
Go to CVS.
And like explain the Obama monument to us.
Yeah.
Someone tell us. Why is it shaped like that? Where the windows at?
It really looks like a prison, like a Soviet prison.
Where the windows
I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure the inside is magical in some way.
Yeah, right into thebrightersidelpn@gmail.com. I'm Amber Nelson, Amber Smelson on Instagram. Also follow my Patreon for $1. You can listen to my stand-up. And anybody else?
Yes, I'm Ashley Brooke Roberts. You can follow me on Instagram at Ashley_Brooke_Roberts. I'm also doing a summer series on YouTube. Meet me over there. It's Ashley Brooke Roberts on YouTube. I'm changing my life, babe, and I want you to come along.
Yeah.
Okay? I want you to come along.
I'm Julie Rosing, and you can find me at Canarda_Bayback on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube at The Brighter Side LPN. We got all kinds of fun stuff up there. If you're looking at this video, you're already there.
Yeah, we love you. Thank you.
We love you so much. Take care of yourself and call your mother.
Yeah, call your mother.
Bye.